Today on PewView, we're going to be going over my top picks for a home defense gun. Now, before we get started, a home defense gun is very subjective. It matters who you are as a shooter, it matters how many people are in your family, and the layout of your house, and it also matters where your neighbors are. You can't really just see this video or a cool guy in a movie and say, that's it, that's the home defense gun for me. So, let's talk about who you are as a shooter. What gun do you train with the most? What are you the most comfortable with? If you had to grab a gun in the middle of the night, drool on your face, half a chub, your left arm's asleep, what gun can you manipulate with your eyes closed? Now for me, in my layout, I can see you coming a mile away. I have a good security system. I have dogs that let me know and give me time to prepare. So I have the, you're trying to get into my house gun, you're in my house gun, and you're in my room gun. So first off, I do have children, so I can't just leave guns locked and loaded laying around, so I do have to put them in safes. I use stuff that's just a quick fingerprint or a quick code that I can easily get to my firearm. Safety comes first, especially with children, but that being said, it is important to have a good security system and a good plan A before plan B. Let's go shoot this Staccato P, and then I'm going to tell you why I chose this right after we thank today's sponsor. That sponsor is going to be Core Essentials. Core Essentials makes the best carry belt. That guy has a core belt on. Core Essentials makes the best carry belts on the market. As you can see from how torn up this thing is, I was pretty happy when they reached out, wanted a sponsorship, because I've had these things on for like 6 years, and this is only my second belt. This is year number 3 with this one. I carry a gun every single day. I wear a belt every single day. I don't wear sweatpants or shorts. It's jeans in this Core Essentials belt. These things have a nice little ratcheting track here, and then your belt buckle will just grab a hold of it. So you get it to where you want. These things do not ever break. I mean, I have had these things on for 6 years, and so far so good. They hold up extremely well. When you buy your belt, it's going to come with all the sizes printed on the inside. You're going to cut it to your waist, and then you're good to go. So I'm sure these guys sent me a script, some salesy pitch to tell you guys, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you that I've worn this belt for about 6 years now. Camera guy wears these belts. My dad, my brother. I put everybody onto these belts. I trust this product. I trust this to carry my gun with me every single day. So take it from me, if you need a new carry belt, they are worth the money. Go hit the link down in the description below. Use my code, pick yourself up one. You're not going to be disappointed. We also can't forget about SDI, Sonoran Desert Institute. If any of you guys watching this are interested in becoming a gunsmith, go hit the link down in the description below. I mean, it's bound to happen, right? Go to SDI! Anyways, go get started in a career that you would actually enjoy. Working and creating new firearms. Go hit the link down in the description below. Thank you, SDI. Now let's go shoot this thing. All right, home defense choice number 1, the Staccato P. This thing is done up by Vulcan Machine Works. I got the stippled grip, the flat face trigger, the ports, the Cerakote, the little PewView, and of course the brown nose thing over here on the slide. Now the reason I go with the 2011 platform is because I'm really efficient with it. This is my natural point of aim. This is something that I've spent countless hours on, hundreds of thousands of rounds through. This is something I can take apart, put together in the dark. I can clear malfunctions. I can point shoot with it. This is something that I would trust. Now this being ported, I can just see the comment sections going wild about how you shouldn't shoot ports or comps at night or indoors. I can understand not wanting to shoot a port or a comp indoors because it is loud, it's concussive, but as far as the flash in the middle of the night, that's kind of a common misconception. That doesn't exactly happen the way you think it does. And second of all, I'm used to the concussion. I already have tinnitus. The guy breaking into the house is probably not going to be used to that flashbang or the concussion. It's not really going to bother me. Second thing, a good flashlight. It is really important to have a good flashlight, especially when it's pitch black in the middle of the night. You're going to want to be able to positively ID whoever's coming into your house. You never know if it's friends or family or some drunk guy stumbling into your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you maybe don't want to cause harm to them. You want to be able to identify them. For me, I trust the Surefire X300 on all of my pistols. It's good illumination. I know this thing is going to work. I know I can beat the shit out of it, and it's still going to keep going. Good flashlight is very important. I also am running a red dot on here. I'm going to be honest, iron sights is just fine, especially for in the middle of the night. You're really close. You probably don't need a red dot. It's actually probably going to do you more harm than good, because then you're going to swim around and find the red dot. But for me, I'm able to point shoot it. Now, obviously, for home defense, I do not put in FMJs in my gun. That's stupid and irresponsible. FMJs over penetrate, and you can hit somebody you don't want to hit. I use Federal HST 124 grain. I also use a 22 round magazine. Because if you're using something as small as 9mm, you want a lot of shots on target as quickly as possible. And the 2011 is probably the best platform to make that happen, for me anyways. Now, a lot of people in the comments are also going to say stuff along the lines of 9mm is not enough to stop a perp trying to break in your house. It's not exactly my point. My point is to stop the threat from causing harm to me or my family. I'm not exactly trying to kill them. Whether that guy dies or not is between him and Jesus. I'm trying to get him the fuck out of my house. Hypothetically, there's a guy sitting right here, and I want to empty my mag as fast as I can, poke as many holes in that body as possible. So, of course, we got to do a bill drill. Or something. See, that's what happens in the middle of the night when your adrenaline is dumping and you see somebody that can cause harm to you or your family. Adrenaline dump. Ammo down range. 12 rounds in 1.74 seconds. 10 split, 11 split. Don't try to steal my fucking donuts. Alright, so you're also going to want to be pretty good at doing transitions, because if somebody is going to break in your house, the chances of them being alone are slim to none. Scumbags tend to travel in groups. At minimum, if they're all three looking at me, I'm going to at least want to put 2 on each body. So 1, 2, 3. We're hypothetically 3 guys are trying to break in and steal my donuts. How fast can I put 2 rounds on all 3 of them? I can't weed. In the middle of the night, the chances of your arm being asleep are actually quite high if you sleep like I do. So, 1 hand bill drill. One 4-8. I can't shoot with my left, but you never know. 1-7-8. Man, I hope my right arm is never asleep. I think you guys get the point of what it means to have a home defense gun. I'm going to stop talking so much and just go through it so this isn't a half-an-hour long video. Option number 2, a good 12-gauge shotgun. That doesn't mean it's got to be semi-auto. A good cheap $300 Remington 870 pump action will do fantastic if you have buckshot inside of it. Running ammunition like buckshot, you also got to consider your walls. This does penetrate drywall, 2x4s, insulation fairly well, and the spread is not so controllable. So if you live in a tight house, close neighbors, your kids are right on the other side of the place that you're going to have to shoot, this may not be the best option. My ammo of choice is Federal double-aught block. If you're a hunter and if you've ever used this, you know why this is my ammo of choice. Now this right here is the Raider S4 12-gauge shotgun. I go with semi-automatic because it's fast and this thing is proven to be pretty damn reliable. So this is essentially a 7+1. We got one ghost loaded, so we got 8 rounds of double-aught buck in here. It's fast, it's reliable, and it delivers a lot of energy downrange. I also have a Surefire Mini Scout up here. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this and bitch about how far it is backwards, and it's going to cast a giant shadow. If it's pitch black, all I need is a slight illumination so I can identify the target and be able to see good enough to play shots. So this being a 12-gauge shotgun, you probably don't need multiple rounds on target. I mean, go until the threat is no longer a threat, but the chances are low. 12 gauge is pretty efficient. We're going to go 1 shot, all 3 targets at about 12 yards, because hypothetically in a house, you're not going to be much further than that. A good, reliable 12 gauge would be my #1 go-to for home defense. Of course, depending on where you live, you got to make sure it's right for you, but if it is, 12 gauge all day. All right, so home defense gun number 3. A good old AR-15, a SCAR, a BRN 180, something with the standard capacity magazine, just in case you can't hit a damn thing and there's a whole bunch of them. Good option to have that's like decently close to you, something that's locked away if you have children, but easily accessible to you. So for that, I go with the SCAR 15P. This is chambered in 5.56, and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, short-barreled gun, it's not going to have as much penetration. That's kind of the point. 77 grain, shorter barrel, not as much penetration, super loud, super concussive. It's scary barking in the middle of the night. And it's super reliable. It's a SCAR. I mean, it's a piston-driven system. These things are going to work. Also, got the Surefire Mini Scout and the EOTech on top of it. Now this thing is loaded up with 77 grain, so it does tumble upon impact very good. I'm not super concerned about the over penetration with a 77 grain bullet out of a 7-inch barrel. But I'm not going to be shooting towards neighbors. I'm lucky enough to have a cornfield in my backyard. I don't have to worry about that. This may not be the best option for you, though. Fast, obnoxious, reliable, Scar 15P. So same concept with the BRM 180, except this is chambered in 300 Blackout. So you can have that subsonic ammunition, a heavier grain, slower moving bullet, less penetration, less noise. 300 Blackout is a solid option, and this is also just one of my favorite guns. Fast, accurate, reliable. Oh, just so we're clear, my battery is dead in the MRO. I'm just going off of nothing here. But also, kind of my point, it's something that I am familiar with. I'm able to point shoot. I don't need a red dot from this distance, house distance. Also, surefire, mini scout. So conclusion, I'd say have a good plan A, meaning a good security system, good lighting, a good lock on your doors. Dogs certainly help. For plan B, the caliber and gun is going to be very specific to you, your layout, the kids' rooms, your neighbors. It's very specific to you and where you live. It's not one gun fits all. We wish it were that easy. It's simply not. Have a good flashlight on your gun, being able to positively ID your target, make sure the threat is actually a threat. If you guys want any of this stuff, go to Brownells, use code PUView10. It'll save you some money. Most importantly, this is America. Use whatever the hell you want. Just be safe about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.